All right. Hey, welcome everybody. Today's podcast, Nathaniel Paul's prayer time and reflection. Remember, prayer is man's greatest power. We got a great and powerful message for you today. Finding and knowing your self-worth. There's many ways to demonstrate self-worth or the actual worth of something. And I got a very small demonstration here for you today. You notice I don't know if you can see, I got 4 simple items. I got a class ring. I got an Army medal, a fishing vest, and literally a concrete piece of rock. And I looked it up before this podcast. This ring here, actually, when I bought it, I remember when I bought it was about $700 back in 2000. And now they say those who graduate from this school pay around $1,300. Let's just say $700. And I got this Army medal. I looked it up, and buying this whole kit here, it's about $50. Buying this vest, it's a White River brand by Bass Pro Shop. I looked it up, $40, and literally a piece of concrete. It's a rock. And I even showed it to my kids before the podcast, and they just laughed at me and said, "What's that?" So if you add it up together right here, the self-worth for these items, or the worth of these items, is maybe $800. But not to me. Not to me, the eye of the beholder, right? You see, this class ring right here isn't just some random college that I went to. I got accepted to the Military College of South Carolina down in Charleston, South Carolina, and it's called the Citadel. If you know anything about military college, you always got what's called your knob or your plebe years, which is your first year there. This ring here is a symbol of the physical and psychological and emotional and educational growth and trials and tribulations that I went through to earn this ring. I didn't just buy my college ring, in my opinion. I earned it. I always think of the stories and tell my children the stories of things I went through to earn this ring. So somebody else might pay $700 for this. I would never sell this. It's priceless to me. This award right here is a Silver Star Army medal. You can buy it at an Army Clothing and Sales store for about $50 as a kit, like I said. But it ain't just $50 to me. This is Afghanistan, 2013. A year away from my family through training, deployment, and demo in a combat zone. And what I did to earn this, and this is not a Combat Valor Award, but this is a meritorious award for my service and the job that I did in Afghanistan that I earned. And so again, because of my personal view, this is priceless to me. You can't buy this. Go buy your own. But I earned this award. It is mine. Now these two right here, I get a little emotional thinking about as well. You see, I only have one grandfather. The other one passed away before I was born. So this is my father's dad, Grandpa Tim, and he lived out of state from me. So I usually saw him in the summer times, and what we always did together, besides watching the St. Louis Cardinals game, was trout fishing. And after he passed away, we were traveling to his funeral, and Grandma called and said, "Look, everybody's coming to get their items, to remember Grandpa by." She's like, "Do you want anything before he gets taken?" And I immediately spoke up and said, "Grandma, I want his trout vest." And I've never wore it. I'll never wear it. What'll I do with it? It sits in my gun safe to where, it can't be damaged, can't be stolen from me. You say, well, you can go buy one, Bass Pro Shop, $40. But to me, the eye of the beholder, this vest is priceless, just the way it is. The fingernail clippers, the lures inside, it smells like an old dirty river. But this vest, this $40 vest, isn't worth much to you? Priceless to me. And then lastly is this piece of concrete. It's, again, my boys laughed at it before I came here. And, Dad, what is that? Well, to me, the eye of the beholder. In regards to my service, I served in Washington, D.C. I'm an air defender, and I provided air defense with my battalion after 9/11. And so this rock here is a piece of a rock, of a foundation that was from the Pentagon after the destruction of 9/11. A staff member was able to go to the destruction zone and pull back a large piece of concrete back to our staff area, and everyone in our staff and our company was allowed to take a hammer and chisel off a piece of memory of why we were serving. So priceless to me. You can't buy this piece of concrete from me. Why would you want to? But I know what this rock means to me. So in all this less than $800 items, especially an old piece of concrete, you say, well, the worth is nothing. But to me, it's priceless. So you think about something like that, and in the eye of the beholder, how priceless are you to Jesus Christ? A couple verses for you. And the very first one, Genesis 1:27. So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. This is a fun one for me because I like to sing. And when I have my own children, I actually wrote them lullabies that I could sing to them at night as I held and rocked them to sleep. Zephaniah 3:17, the Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. His love will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing. He delights in you. Jeremiah 29:11, I think we all know this one. For I know the plans for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. I know in my years of education, I can't count the number of times I've taught the children who have self-doubt, low self-esteem, depression, anxiety, which is just another form of fear. And I just always try to be encouraging and just remind them that they are a child of God. You are a child of God. If you're out there in this world, especially my middle school age kids here that I teach, maybe we're about who to be friends with, which friends don't like you, which friend group you're in, who you're starting to date, don't date, did they like you, why don't they like you, maybe you're not good at sport, you didn't make a team, whatever your doubt is, whatever's causing your low self-esteem, remember, you're a child of God, and in the eye of him, the beholder of all, you are priceless. So just pray with me real quick. Hey, dear Lord, thank you so much for this opportunity to meet together, God, to hear from you and to talk about your love and your kindness and the plans that you have for us in our future, God, that we are worthy, God. We are worthy, God, because we are your children. I pray, God, Lord, that you just give everyone peace and hope in their futures. In your name I pray. Amen. And remember, prayer is man's greatest power. And I'll see you next time.